was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad, mercy upon mankind. He was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad, mercy upon mankind, teacher of all mankind. Ya Habibi, Ya Muhammad, Ya Shafi'i, Ya Muhammad, Ya Rasuli, Ya Muhammad, Ya Bashiri, Ya Muhammad, Ya Nadhiri, Ya Muhammad, عشق قلبي يا محمد، نور عيني يا محمد. He taught us to be just and kind, and to feed the poor and hungry, help the wafer and the orphan child, and to not be cruel and miserly. His speech was soft and gentle, like a mother stroking her child. His mercy and compassion were most radiant when he smiled. He was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad, mercy upon mankind. He was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad, mercy upon mankind, teacher of all mankind. Aba al-Qasim, Ya Habibi, Ya Muhammad, Ya Shafi'i, Ya Muhammad, khayru khalqillahi Muhammad. Ya Mustafa, Ya Imam al-Mursalin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Shafi'i al-Alamin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Imam al-Mursalin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Shafi'i al-Alamin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Imam al-Mursalin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Shafi'i al-Alamin, Ya Mustafa, Ya Imam al-Mursalin, Muallim.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. My name is Asif Saba, and I would like to welcome you to this show today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. You are listening to RADIOMAC, your local Muslim community radio station, broadcasting on 107.1 FM. We give thanks and praise to Allah for allowing us to come into your homes and bring a message of hope, happiness, peace, love and well-being. That we may remind you of the favours of Allah and those favours that He has bestowed on you, and that you may be open to receiving guidance filled with love. This programme is dedicated to exploring the spiritual and the symbolic language of the Quran. The Quran that I use is the Allama Abdullah Yusuf Ali version, translated from Arabic to English. Now, the main features of these talks is going to be about what it's like being a spiritual person living in a physical world. If what I quote when I quote verses from the Quran, if they do not match up exactly with the version that you have, it may be that you have got a different edition. Now, the version of the Quran that I use is the Allama Abdullah Yusuf Ali version, translated from Arabic to English. Or usually, sometimes the Quran, it will just say Yusuf Ali. So today, I'm going to do something slightly different. There's an amazing book that you can get, and it's got 100 Islamic stories in it. And I'd like to read out one of those stories from this book. And reading this story, I want you to just think about it, pay attention, and maybe think about how it applies in your own life. Because sometimes we end up reaping what we sow in life. And reaping what we sow, we may forget about the deed that we've committed, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forget, and we will reap what we sow. And there's so many different verses in the Quran that talk about this. It tells you that the deeds that your hands have sent forth. So the first verse from this amazing little book called 100 Islamic Stories by Muhammad Din Salvari. The story I want to read today is, well, I may look at two stories and then we'll discuss them, because I think they're very important to help you understand why things happen to you in your life. Now, this story is story 60, and it says, or the title of the story is, Man Cannot Escape the Results of His Evil Doings. And the reason why, because sometimes we forget that our actions create a reaction somewhere along the way. Now, even our thoughts, now over the past few weeks and months, I've been talking about how our thoughts impact us in so many more ways than we think, that even on a deeper level, our thoughts are not just ideas that are running around in our own heads. Thoughts are inspiration at times. Now, inspiration can come from the heavens. So when you think about what your thoughts are energy. Now, science has proven that at the end of the day, we are energy. And everything about our physical body, I mean, we may think our physical bodies are solid, and that this physical body is, because it's in this world, and everything that this physical body interacts with, because it's made up of the same molecules and density, it seems solid to us. So we believe, say for example, a wall. You know, you can't always walk through a wall. I mean, common sense tells you that. And because our physical body reacts to the wall and stops us from moving through a wall, for example, we believe that we are solid. But really, the reality is, we're not as solid as what we think, because we have a spirit, a soul within ourselves. Now, we can call it a spirit or soul just to give you an understanding of our inner self. Now, when you think about it, when you think, this energy of you creates energy, and it goes out from within, from you. It's not just, thoughts aren't just something that are running around in your head. Your thoughts are energy, and as you think, so shall it be. So just from thinking about this, that there's a lot more to you as a person and the thoughts you think than maybe you've thought about on a previous occasion. So today, we're going to have a look at a couple of stories from this amazing little book called 100 Islamic Stories. And they are only short stories, but I'm sure you'll get an understanding about the content of the stories, and then we'll kind of discuss what a possible meaning behind the story. So this first story, it's called A Man Cannot Escape the Results of His Evil Doings. And here's the story. A prophet of Allah, peace be upon him, was occupied in the worship of Allah alone on a mountain. Nearby was a fountain of water. A horseman passed by and briefly stopped to drink water from the mountain. He continued on his journey, but by mistake he left his purse containing 1,000 gold coins. A while later, another traveller passed by, saw the purse and took it. Then, as a poor man passed by carrying a bundle of wood on his head. He stopped by the fountain for a drink and decided to lie down for a while. By the time the horseman, who realized he had lost his purse, returned to the fountain. He searched for the purse but could not find it. He became suspicious that the poor man had it, so he began to harshly interrogate him. Of course, the poor man knew nothing about the purse. In anger, the horseman began beating the poor man and killed him. The Prophet observed the entire episode. He was astonished to see someone pay the price for someone else's crime. The Prophet asked Allah why the poor man was punished though he had not stolen the purse. Almighty Allah replied, "Continue with your own affairs. Remain busy in my worship. These matters are of my concern and do not relate to you. But since you have asked, I will disclose the secret to you. This poor man killed the horseman's father. Now, as Qureshi blood money, we have allowed his son to kill the poor man. Also, the horseman had kept 1,000 dinars of the other traveller's wealth. Now, when he took the money from the fountain, we have ensured the money has been returned to its rightful owners." So there, sometimes things happen to us in our lives and we are not always aware as to why this happened to us. But you've got to sometimes look and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never gets anything wrong. And even the very thoughts that you think, the energy that you release, so say, for example, you're angry and your thoughts are energy. When you become angry, you send this negative energy out from yourself and it does spread all around. Now let me give you some kind of example about this. Have you ever walked into a room and just after, say, two people have had an heated argument, and for some reason you can detect this atmosphere in the room, even though you weren't there at the time, there's a certain kind of atmosphere that you can feel, and it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. Well, what you are picking up on is the negative energy that was created and released during the person who was having the argument. So that's just a small example. I'm sure we've all been in that situation where we've walked somewhere or entered a room, and for some reason there is that strange feeling that something isn't right, something's just taken place, but you were totally unaware of it, but something's happened. So if you think about this, you are picking up on the energy that has been released, and believe it or not, you have to reap back that energy as well. So not only do you have to, or are you reaping a physical level, but you also reap the energy that you've created as a result of what took place during the argument. So you have to pay attention and think about why the Quran is always talking about be the best you can be. And don't always allow yourself to be negative. Become the best character you can be in your life, because this will save you from going through this reaping what you have sown. So looking at this story, and we will look at the reaping of what you have sown in the next story. So the next story is story 61, and it says, you will reap what you sow. So we will look at that story in a moment, but first let's just look at the content of this story about a man cannot escape the results of his evil doings. So in short, one person lost some money. That money was found by another person, yet another person was accused of that incident taking place, and that person lost their life. And as a result, when the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked Allah, what's the meaning of this affair that I have just witnessed, then Allah gave him the understanding that the person who lost the 1,000 dinars, he had taken that money from the person who actually found it at the fountain, and then when he went back to the fountain, the person who had lost the money, then they saw the old man or the poor man or the beggar sleeping there. He interrogated this poor man, ended up killing him because, again, it turned out in the story that the poor man had killed this person's father. So each of the people, the man who had the 1,000 dinars lost it because he took it from another person, and then the poor man who killed the person who lost the money's father has also been killed himself. So again, we never know the reasons behind why things happen. Now we are coming up for a short break, and after the break, well, think about what we've just spoken about, and after the break we'll come back with another story and we'll explain it.
You are listening to RADIOMAC's Rabi'a Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
New insights into the mysteries of the Quran, a book by Asif Saba, self-help guide to meditation and the Quran, health, wealth, happiness and well-being. Order your copy on Amazon now or visit asifsabamindfulness.com. The Rock Crystals is an adventure into the afterlife, also available on Amazon.
यार तुम तो कहते थे कि नया मकान लेने के बाद मेरी पॉकेट खाली हो गई है। ये इतने खूबसूरत कारपेट और लैमिनेट फ्लोरिंग कहाँ से आए हैं?
अरे भाई भला हो मनिंगम कारपेट वालों का, जहाँ से कारपेट और लैमिनेट फ्लोरिंग आए हैं। अगर आप भी अपने घर को खूबसूरत कारपेट और फ्लोरिंग से सजाना चाहते हैं और पैसे बचाना चाहते हैं तो इसके लिए एक ही नाम, मनिंगम कारपेट्स। We have a wide selection of carpets, laminate and vinyls. 230 Manningham Lane, Bradford, BD8 7BZ 01274 973 206 or 07984415455.
Travel Express minibus and coach hire provides a wide range of services including schools, weddings, airport transfers, Hajj and Umrah, theme parks and seaside resorts. We have a mixed fleet of vehicles ranging from 16-seat minibuses right through to 80-seater double-deck buses to cater for all your occasions. The biggest operator in Bradford. For a quotation, visit travelexpress.co.uk. Travel Express, the coach depot, Audley Road, Shipley, BD17 7HP 01274 598 833.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम मुसलमान भाइयों बहनों जामिया उस्मानिया हीटर रोड ब्रैडफोर्ड 9 नई मस्जिद बना रहे हैं जिस पर 3 मिलियन पाउंड खर्चा आएगा इस सदका जारिया में हिस्सा लेकर जन्नत में अपना घर बनाएं क्योंकि अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का फरमान है जिसने दुनिया में अल्लाह का घर बनाया अल्लाह उसको जन्नत में घर अता फरमाएगा राब्ता के लिए मुफ्ती मोहम्मद बशीर मतायर फोन नंबर 07866311213 और साहबजादा मोहम्मद यास साहब 07367576631
क्या आप पाकिस्तान या आजाद कश्मीर में सामान भेजना चाहते हैं और अच्छी सर्विस, अच्छा रेट और टाइम पर सामान की डिलीवरी चाहते हैं तो फिर स्पीडी कार्गो सर्विसेज से आज ही राब्ता करें। स्पीडी कार्गो डोर टू डोर सर्विस फराहम करते हैं। हमेशा याद रखिए स्पीडी कार्गो सर्विसेज 107 लेग्रम्स लैंड ब्रेडफोर्ड 7 टेलीफोन 0796098324 स्पीडी कार्गो सर्विसेज आपके एतमाद का नाम।
Would you like to advertise digitally at a cost that is flexible, targetable, affordable and accessible? Then look no further. Adverts for You has designed most comprehensive range of digital advertising vans to meet the needs of businesses and agencies nationwide. Mobile digital vans with the best of technology to get your message delivered to targeted audience of your choice. Adverts from as little as £99, interacting and measuring in real time the client's message. Visit advertsforyou.co.uk or call 0781 785 4715 to book your campaign today.
रज़िया केरी फिक्रिच पईए पैनू ना बयानी शॉपिंग वास्ते इधर-उधर फिरना पैसी ओ जाए फिरनी नी क्या जरूरत है सिद्धा चाचा प्लाजा चो जिथे हर चीज लबनी ज्वेलरी ते कपड़े तक प्लाजा एक ते बेशुमार दुकाना इस जाइना ना चाचा प्लाजा
Spend £50 or more at Chacha Plaza to have a chance at winning a gold ring every Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Chacha Plaza, 2 Ingleby Road, Bradford, BD7 2AT 01274 571100. Are you having trouble paying too much energy bills? If so, contact us for the cheapest rates in the UK guaranteed. Ring Arshad Madni on 07578 995 170 or Humair on 07936 77403 or females contact Rihanna on 07956 456 239. If you take any 3 services with us, you will receive £150 cashback. If you mention RADIOMAC, £50 extra cashback. Dedicated to save you money on your energy bills.
Neither on the attorney.
ओ बाबा जिस बेड पर तो सा सैलियो नींदर अचनी नहीं बल्कि उड़ली जानी
अब दस ना फिर मैं क्या करा
चंगी नींदर ते चंगी बेड पर असली ते चंगिया बेड लवलिया टेस्टेड एंड ओकली बेड्स तो
All beds direct from factory, no middleman. We specialize in assortment of mattresses and divans. Special landlord and trade discount open to the public. Save money. Chester and Oakley Beds, 25 Mount Street, Bradford, BD4 8TA 01924 473 323. Spend over £300 and get a £50 discount if you mention RADIOMAC.
मामा आज क्या खासो
वो पामाजान उसना पामाजान
ओ मामा ये रोज पामाजान खाई तंग नहीं पैनी हो
वो चला ही गया 100 बारी खाओ ते तावी नहीं तंग पैना
तो फिर करा ऑर्डर
वो टली खड़का देर कैसी है
12 Manville Terrace, Bradford. Call 01274 726 218. Opposite Bradford College and University. Opened every day, 3 p.m. till midnight. Delivery available from 5 p.m. Delicious Parmesan House, Manville Terrace is the only exclusive delicious Parmesan house in Bradford. Accident Law Group. Had an accident? Call our dedicated claim line on 01274 481111. That's 481111. Recovery and storage, instant vehicle replacement, taxi replacement, self-hire, approved NBRA body shop, legal advice. Email info@accidentlawgroup.co.uk or visit 44 Duckworth Grove, Bradford, BD9 5HQ. Chaiwali Little Horton Lane, BD5 9BL. Buy one, get second item half price from Monday to Thursday. Come and try our Karak chai, Kashmiri tea, Desi tea, delicious desserts, donuts, brownies, and much more. Don't forget Yogurt Wali, our second branch on 820 Leeds Road, BD3 9TY. First shop in Yorkshire to do fat-free frozen yogurts with 4 flavors and over 32 toppings. You are listening to Radio Max Rabia Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomax.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and my name is Asif Saba, and I'm broadcasting from Radio Mac on 107.1 FM. And I'm glad I got rid of the horse in my throat, because I was having a few problems speaking a little bit earlier on. You know, when your voice kind of gets a bit rough and you need to cough and just release yourself from everything. Well, anyway, the first story that we've just spoken about, it was called Man Cannot Escape the Results of His Evil Doings. And this is because, you know, we do reap what we sow. Now, the next story is it's the next story in the book. It's a beautiful Islamic book. It's 100 Islamic Stories by Muhammad Din Sayavani. And this story is number 61. And it's called You Will Reap What You Sow. Now, this is an amazing little story, and it's one of my favourites in the book. And then what we'll do after we've looked at this story, I'm sure you'll understand it immediately, I'm going to give you some verses from the Quran. So I'll play a nasheed for those people who have been writing down the verses that I've been giving out. We'll look at some verses about what your hands have sent forth. And, you know, they explain to you that you do reap what you have sown. And okay, I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives you, but you've got to take that idea of forgiveness a little bit further. So, you know, Allah forgives you, but there's a lot in the Quran that explains, even though Allah forgives you, you still have to reap what you have sown. So, praying and asking Allah to forgive you, yes, it will happen. But also know that nobody can escape the laws of cause and effect. And so you will eventually, one day in your life, reap what you have sown in some way or another. So let's look at this story. And it's from the 100 Islamic Stories book. And it's an amazing little story. So it goes like this. And it's called Story 61, You Will Reap What You Have Sown. It is reported that a man from Balaka ordered his servants to sow wheat. Instead of sowing seeds of wheat in the fields, he sowed barley seeds. When the crops grew, barley was obviously the product. The man called the servant and said, "Did I order you to grow wheat or barley?" The servant replied, "You told me to sow wheat, but I sowed barley. I thought that the crops of barley would also produce wheat." The servant replied, "O master, if barley has never been produced from wheat, then how can paradise be attained through sinful behavior? On the one hand, you commit sins every day and night, and on the other, you expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you paradise and make you worthy of his mercy. He who constantly indulges in evil and never performs good will find his end outcome is evil and unpleasant. So again, coming back to these two stories, one is a man cannot escape the results of his evil doing, and you will reap what you have sown. And it's important to know that the things that you are going through in your life right now are because of some deeds that you have previously done. And you've got to take into account Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not get things wrong. And there is still a bigger picture to look at. A picture that I haven't ever I haven't talked about it yet, but I'm sure inshallah we will discuss something that a lot of people may think is not an Islamic topic, but I can assure you it is. It's right there in the Quran, but I'm going to leave that topic for another day. And, it's not something that I want to talk about quite yet. But reaping what you have sown spans a long, long time. It's a period that you may have forgotten that you've done a certain act, and you may question, well, why am I reaping? Why am I going through this? I have never in this life done anything wrong to anybody. So once you start to piece together and really delve into the Quran, then you start to get information about previous events, and you start to see the Quran on a different level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a nasheed and give you something to, listen to, and then I'm going to read out some verses from the Quran that talk about the things that your hands have sent forth. And that's just another way of looking at you will reap what you have sown. So it's important that you start to piece together some of this information that I'm talking about. And if you do want to have a fuller picture, because I'm just going through a few things here, read the Qurans and continually read it, because then things will start to stick in your mind, and then you too will start to piece together certain information. Now, if you meditate on the verses of the Quran and start to raise your consciousness above the ideas that you have about life in this world, you'll also receive inspiration from the heavens that will bring into your life a different kind of knowledge, a new kind of knowledge. And then you'll start to see so many amazing, wondrous things within the verses of the Quran that you didn't know were there before. Now, the reason why I've decided to do this topic is to give you something to think about, because we go charging through life without really paying attention to this idea of reaping what we have sown. Now, in other religions, it's called karma, and everyone's heard that word in everyday conversations, where it's another way of saying you'll reap what you sow, or you'll reap what your hands have sent forth, as the Quranic term puts it. And it applies to every single person in this world. So let's have a quick nasheed for those people who want to grab themselves a paper and pen, and then I'm going to read out some verses that you can look at in your own time about how or the things that your hands have sent forth. So, write these verses down, and then you'll be able to read them in your own time and contemplate on the verses of the Quran and think about things on a bit more of a deeper level, because you've got to realize you are here for a reason, and that reason We get sidetracked by the things that are going on around us. We get programmed to live a life according to our material desires rather than our spiritual desires. And the beautiful thing about RADIOMAC, we come into the studio, we present these shows to help you and give you some kind of guidance. And there's some amazing presenters here. There's Adil, there's Homer, and there's Hamad, and all the many other presenters from RADIOMAC. We're all here trying to encourage you to read the Quran, think about what you're saying, think about what you're doing in your lives, to make you think, because this world is a temporary world. We are here for a reason. We are here only to progress spiritually on our pathway. We are here to reap what we have sown so that we can learn through the things that we have done and maybe better ourselves and raise our consciousnesses in the direction of the heavens. So after this nasheed, we will come back. I'll read some verses from the Quran that talk about how we reap what we sow, or what our hands have sent forth. So this nasheed, it's a beautiful nasheed by Khalid Sadiq, and I hope you like it.
I found a love for me, Habib Rasulullah, Sidna Nabi. He came to this world, peace be to thee, Habibi khairil khalqil kulli. I never knew what a man you was until I fell in love. I found a purpose for my life. Pray that you hold my hand, teach me how to be a man. I know you hear these words of mine. Rabbi, I'm crying in the dark. These tears are from my heart. I'm trying, but it's hard. Feeling so distant from you sometimes. Yada bless me with sight, with the beloved in my eyes. I don't deserve it, but show me mercy tonight. I found a teacher, smarter than anyone I know. And in my dreams I hope that one day your face will show. He's more than a man. He was the best of all creation, full of love, full of mercy for us all. I never knew what a man you was until I fell in love. I found a purpose for my life. Pray that you hold my hand, teach me how to be a man. I know you hear these words of mine. Rabbi, I'm crying in the dark. These tears are from my heart.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and you're listening to RADIOMAC, broadcasting on 107.1 FM. And my name is Asif Saba, and I'm here in the studio, and we're talking about how you will reap what you have sown in life. And these reapings that we sow, or these reapings that we have to go through in our life, is because of the deeds that our hands have sent forth. So I hope you've had time to grab yourselves a pen and paper, because I'm going to read out some verses from the Quran that you can have a look for yourself and maybe reflect on some of the things that you are doing or going through in your life. And when you meditate and look within yourself, as you push yourself and sit in that inner silence, why don't you ask those questions, and see what answers come into your mind? Because you will be inspired by your angels as they watch over you. And they will send you ideas, words, wisdoms, even symbolic language, or symbols, pictures, images. And those images will come to you to help you and guide you on your pathway, or maybe just give you answers to questions that you're pondering about. So let's have a look at some of these verses, and then I'll read part of the verses out, and then you can write them down and then check them later. And all these verses are taken from the Allama Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation of the Quran, or for short, it's the Yusuf Ali translation from Arabic to English. So the first verse we're going to look at is Surah 2, verse 281. And part of that verse, it says, "Then shall every soul be paid what it earned." Now that's pretty straightforward. It's just telling you that you reap basically what you have sown, and everything that you go through inwardly and outwardly, it's all being planned, and you are reaping according to the deeds your own hands have sent forth. Even the thoughts in your mind, you will, because thoughts create energy, and as you go through life sending out energy all over the place, and you can check these ideas up, you will realize that you have to also reap those ideas too. And this is why when you read the Quran, it's always telling you to be the best you can be. It's a guidance for all of mankind to teach them the best possible way to live their lives and how to make better choices. And as you go within yourself and clear away all the negative emotions that can arise within, you start to see much more in the Quran. So the next verse is Surah 3, verse 25. And it says this, and it's part of the verse, it's not the whole verse, so you do need to read your Qurans so that you can get the full verse. And it says, "Paid out just what it has earned." And again, that's referring to you or your soul. You are paid out just what you have earned, both mentally and physically. So that your kismet is what you get in this life, but also there's another kismet that's within, and even your mental state of mind is something that you have, it's something that has been, you're getting paid back through the deeds that you have previously done. And another verse from the Quran is Surah 3, verses 116 and 117. Now this is an interesting verse, because it says, or part of, within those two verses, it says, "Strikes and destroys the harvest of men who have wronged their own souls. And again, you've got to look at what is the harvest. Now, I have spoken about the harvest, and even last week when we spoke about the beasts that are scattered through the earth, or the cattle. Now, I will refresh your mind on that. So let me just talk about the harvest first. So the harvest is the things that you have accepted as the truth, and you've built your foundation, or you've built your ideology on that foundation, be that foundation good or bad. So this harvest is within you. It produces your thoughts because, as you know, two people looking at a situation, you will both have your own ideas about what is taking place according to where your consciousness resides. Now, if someone is dwelling within the negative emotions of themselves, then their picture of what is taking place is going to be different from the person who is dwelling in a clear light. In other words, they're dwelling in their higher state of consciousness. So again, depending on what you have, if you, the harvest that is within you, Allah, if you've wronged your soul, this harvest is destroyed because it is replaced by another kind of harvest that is not as good for your soul. And this is the darkness striking and taking over that beautiful inner harvest that could have been there if you would have only thought about things a little differently. And so also, remember last week we spoke about cattle and beasts? Well, the cattle, it's a symbolic word used in the Quran to explain the chatter that goes on within your mind. And it is like what you can imagine, a load of sheep or goats or say donkeys braying. The ideas that come into your mind, and it's going ba 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 ba, and you can't get rid of them. That's because they are like cattle, going on and on. Now the beasts, they're the ideas that really surround you. Say you're going through a really depressing state of mind, then they are greater than the cattle. They come in, these ideas, they take over your whole being, and they are like beasts. They cause you to go down, they cause you to become depressed, where really, if you cleared all that out and you learnt to raise your consciousness, you would be dwelling in a different state of consciousness. And this is how, things are stricken, and our harvest is destroyed by, when you wrong your soul. So we are coming up for another break, and after the break, it's 8:30, we'll be back.
You are listening to RADIOMAC's Rabi'a Thani Ghosya broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403. Accident Law Group. Had an accident? Call our dedicated claim line on 01274 481111. That's 481111. Recovery and storage, instant vehicle replacement, taxi replacement, self-hire, approved NBRA body shop, legal advice. Email info@accidentlawgroup.co.uk or visit 44 Duckworth Grove, Bradford, BD9 5HQ.
If you live in social housing and an issue like damp and mold, broken locks or leaks is worrying you, know the steps to complain. Step 1. Report it to your landlord. Then if it's still not fixed, Step 2. Complain through your landlord's complaints process. And if you're not happy with a final response from your landlord, Step 3. Escalate your complaint to the Housing Ombudsman. They're impartial and will investigate fairly. Everyone deserves a safe and secure home. Know your rights. Visit gov.uk/social housing.
रज़िया केरी फिक्र च पई है पैनू ना बयानी शॉपिंग वास्ते इधर-उधर फिरना पैसी ओ जाए फिरनी नी क्या जरूरत है सीधे चाचा प्लाजा चो जिथे हर चीज लबनी जूलरी ते कपड़े तक प्लाजा एक ते बेशुमार दुकाना इस जाइना ना चाचा प्लाजा
Spend £50 or more at Chacha Plaza to have a chance at winning a gold ring every Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Chacha Plaza, 2 Ingleby Road, Bradford. BD7 2AT 01274 571100.
क्या गल है कुछ ना इंतजार होना लगे यार
ओ ये रहा हम बस का इंतजार करती है अभी तक इधर से कोई बस गुजरा ही नहीं है
ओ छोड़ो बस है की अच्छो गड्डी च बियो
ओ ये रहा हमारे बैठने से कहीं तुम्हारा गाड़ी का टायर ना पंक्चर हो जाए कहीं हवा ना निकल जाए
अगर ऐसी कोई गल होई गई तो सीधे ले जू सर
BM Tyres for your puncture repairs, wheel balancing and tracking. New and power-worn tyres available. BM Tyres, 22 Paradise Street, BD1 2HR 01274 728 288. The best name in tyres, BM Tyres.
Save the Mothers Trust is a UK-based charity formed in 2003 with the aim of helping those in poverty and hardship to become self-sufficient and independent. Support our many projects around the world including Food Aid, World Water and the SMT Maternity Hospital. Donate your zakat, sadaqah and lillah by calling 012 74 270 043 or visit smtrust.org.uk. With your continued support, we can help make a difference.
Would you like to advertise digitally at a cost that is flexible, targetable, affordable and accessible? Then look no further. Adverts for You has designed most comprehensive range of digital advertising vans to meet the needs of businesses and agencies nationwide. Mobile digital vans with the best of technology to get your message delivered to targeted audience of your choice. Adverts from as little as £99, interacting and measuring in real time the client's message. Visit adverts4you.co.uk or call 0781 785 4715 to book your campaign today.
A unique name in the world of fast food, Amigos Bradford, from where you can get tasty mouth-watering pizzas, burgers, shakes and much more. Delivery service available. Amigos Bradford, open Monday to Sunday, 4 p.m. till 11 p.m. Order online at amigosbradford.co.uk. 503 Otley Road, Bradford, BD2 4QL. Order line 01274 786 100. Al-Markaz Al-Islami has launched its appeal for £1 million for a purpose-built masjid, which will aim to promote the true message of Islam while uniting all Muslims in Bradford and create sound relations with all communities. Your donations will help in funding the purpose-built masjid, reception, offices, storeroom, first aid, funeral service, library, mortuary and much more. Bank transfer, Barclays Bank, account name, Al-Markaz Al-Islami, sort code 201188, account number 43161 or ring 01274 270 043.
New insights into the mysteries of the Quran, a book by Asif Saba, self-help guide to meditation and the Quran, health, wealth, happiness and well-being. Order your copy on Amazon now or visit asifsabamindfulness.com. The Rock Crystals is an adventure into the afterlife, also available on Amazon.
अगर आपको 3 या उससे ज्यादा हफ्तों से खांसी आ रही है तो इसको नजरअंदाज ना करें। अगर आपको 3 या उससे ज्यादा हफ्तों से खांसी आ रही है तो ये कैंसर की निशानी हो सकती है। ये शायद कोई संगीन बात नहीं है, लेकिन कैंसर का जल्द पता लगाना इसे मजीद काबिले इलाज बना देता है। NHS आपका मुआयना करना चाहती है। अपनी जीपी प्रैक्टिस से राब्ता करें। आपकी मदद करने में हमारी मदद कीजिए।
You are listening to Radio Max Rabia Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back. You're listening to Radio Mac, broadcasting on 107.1 FM. And my name is Asif Saba, and I'm here talking about what your hands have sent forth. And I'm going through some verses from the Quran. So just to give you an idea, and previously, earlier in the program, we looked at two different stories. One was about man cannot escape the results of his evil doing, and also you will reap what you sow. And so we've been looking at some verses that reflect that, and these verses are from the Quran. So if you've got your Qurans ready, I'll continue with these verses. If you want to write them down and maybe check out your Qurans later, that's good as well. And then at least it's all building up your understanding and realizing that thoughts are not just something running around in your head. They are real. And something I just want you to think about. For those who have, I'm going to talk about, just for a moment, just to give you an understanding, telepathy. Now, what do you think inspiration is? When you have thoughts within your mind that say, I wouldn't do that. Have you ever thought that maybe that's your angel speaking to you, and they've planted those thoughts within your mind to give you some kind of guidance on your journey, and to help you to make better choices? But all they can do is suggest to you an idea, and then they leave it for you to strive and follow that idea because they know it is the best kind of guidance. However, many of us, we turn away from that beautiful inner guidance that directs us down a pathway that actually leads us back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the home of the hereafter. So just think about that for a moment. Not all your thoughts in your mind come from yourself. Now, I know those people who don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they think that all the thoughts that they have are because of their own cleverness. Well, they need to really kind of rethink what they are actually thinking about, because sometimes our angels will inspire us in amazing ways. They will send us signs, symbols. Not everything is that we think about comes from ourselves, and there is divine guidance. A couple of weeks ago, I did talk to you about inspiration, what inspiration is, and how inspiration comes down from the heavens to guide you. But you've got to kind of start putting verses together when you read the Quran, and start making the links between one thing and another, because the Quran is not just about it. There's some aspects of history in there, but the majority of the Quran is about character building to make you the best you can be. So don't always think that all the stories came down for a specific time because of something that was going on, so it's more of a history book rather than a book on personal development. Everything in the Quran is there for a reason, and there's many stories which we haven't really discussed, but I think, if you continue to listen to this program, or should I say my program, every Wednesday usually between 7 and 10, sometimes I do get a little bit delayed, or something happens and I end up starting a little bit later, but I will usually be here. But, as we're going along, I'm going to divulge some amazing information that nobody seems to be speaking about, but it's all there in the Quran. And, I can't just talk about everything. I'm trying to do certain things in stages. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll just open up a folder and there something jumps out. And today it just happens to be I decided to do this story from this amazing little book called 100 Islamic Stories. And there was a couple of stories in there. Story 60 and 61, both talking about man cannot escape the results of his evil doings, and you will reap what you sow. So we're kind of going down just to build up your understanding about you will reap what you've sown, and everything that happens to you happens because of these simple laws. And I've got a sheet here that I'm looking at with all the different verses, and there's over 20 different verses, and I've only pulled a few out that reflect how we will each reap what we have sown. So I was looking at a verse just before the adverts came on, and it was Surah 3, verse 116 and 117, and within those verses it says, strikes and destroys the harvest of men who have wronged their own souls. And we were just looking at harvest is all the truth and whatever you've built up within yourself. So you've got to look at the knowledge you have. It is planted in the garden of your soul like a harvest, and it's grown. And when you start to drift away from the inner love, trust and truth, or especially the inner truth, then what happens is you start to sink down. And we also spoke about cattle, which was last week, which is a symbolic word for if you think about what cattle are, they're kind of out in the field, they're going blah 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 and making noise. So these negative emotions can be like cattle within us. Also the beasts are the, say, bigger situations that are taking place in our life that kind of take over ourselves, and we become consumed by them. And these kind of can put us into a state of depression. So these are the beasts. The cattle are smaller, and so we are reaping what our own souls have sent forth. And this comes down to we reap what we sow based on the thoughts we think and the actions that we take in our lives. And again, if we look at Surah 3, verse 134 to 135, it says, within those verses, it says, wronged their own souls. Another verse is Surah 4, verse 78 and 79. They failed to understand a single fact. Now that verse is just explaining, if you don't read the Quran, or study the Quran, should I say, then, you can't take it all in one sitting. So it's not just a matter of reading it once and thinking, there you go, I've read it and that's it. No, you have to delve into its content, because it's a book from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he wants to, you need to take that information and use it as spiritual guidance so that you can work to make better decisions, so you don't reap what you sow. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does forgive you, but it doesn't mean that you do not have to reap what you have sown. Sure, it's like if you was to do something to me, I could turn around and say, yeah, okay, I forgive you. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to reap what you have sown. It's like, for example, if I've lent you some money and you take that money and go off and spend it, and I can ask you for it back a couple of times, and for some reason you make up all these excuses as to why you think you can't get that, why you can't give me that money back, then I can turn around, okay, I forgive you, take it. But it doesn't mean that somewhere along the line, just like in the story, you may, lose some money or something, And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his wisdom and guidance, may help me, well, I may find some money somewhere. So again, the balance is set up. And that's why I read that story about how a man cannot escape the results of his evil doing. You know, we all reap what we have sown, and we can't shift the blame onto somebody else, because somewhere along our life's journey, something happened, we did something, and we are indeed reaping what we have sown. So let's look, you know, and if you can't start to piece this information together to understand, this is why that verse says they fail to understand a single fact, is because they're not opening the mind and taking into consideration the verses that are right there in the Quran. And they want, you know, some people want to blame everybody else for the things that are happening to them instead of looking where they should look. And that place is within themselves. So let's look at another verse, and it's Surah 4, verse 78 and 79. But whatever evil happens to thee is from thy own soul. So again, it's telling you that, you know, earlier on I spoke about how the thoughts you think are energy, and energy create thoughts, so they're both kind of interacting and interwoven. And this verse kind of explains to you that, you know, the works which their souls have sent forth, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but whatever evil happens to thee is from thy own soul. So because your thoughts are energy, and you know, if you're in a really bad mood and you send out negative thoughts all over the place, you have to reap back that energy that you sent out from yourself. So you can begin to understand and see how in-depth the verses of the Quran are, and that they apply in ways that maybe you haven't really thought about before. So again, let me just read that verse back to you, because it is so important for you to understand that everything you experience in your life is because you are reaping what you have sown. So that verse again, it's Surah 4, verse 78 to 79, and within those verses it says, but whatever evil happens to thee is from thy own soul. Now that is an amazing verse for me. You know, it gives me such an in-depth understanding of how precise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws work, and how amazing the Quran is. It's a book, you will not find another book like it for its in-depth. So look at it, you know, start to read it, but pay attention. Now let's have a look at another verse from the Quran, and it's Surah 5, verse 82 to 83. Works which their own souls have sent forward before them. And again, looking at this, I'll go into a little bit of detail about this verse, but it's pretty straightforward. It links on from the previous verse that I read out. You know, the works which your own souls have sent forward before them, again, you've got to realize thoughts are not just something running around in your own head. Thoughts are energy. And when you think, you create energy. And this is why the best kind of energy that you can send out from yourself is through good deeds, through love, through trust, and through truth. You know, and express loving feelings. And we talked about the three veils of darkness that you can find yourself enwrapped in or enshrouded within. And they are your negative emotions. As a result of the negative emotions, your thinking and your willpower. However, the opposite to that are the three veils of light, which come through your feelings, because your feelings of love kind of counteract the negative emotions, which gives rise to certain kinds of thoughts within yourself, and then your willpower, because you feel so confident when you've got feelings of love expressed within yourself. So I hope you're beginning to paint yourself a better picture of just how amazing some of these verses in the Quran are, and how in-depth and an understanding you can actually gain about your spiritual and physical journey. So let's look at another verse from the Quran. Let's look, where were we? Surah 6, verse 70. Every soul delivers itself to ruin by its own acts. Now think of that. Again, it's talking about how you reap what you have sown. And again, Surah 7, verse 147. Can they expect to be rewarded except as they have wrought? In other words, you get rewarded according to your inner expression. And is not love the best expression that you can express in your life? For love raises the vibrations of your inner self. And love, it create, well, when you express love, it fills you with certain kinds of feelings, and these feelings expand and go out way beyond your physical reality. You know, and love, I've spoken about love and feelings of love and how they can transform your whole picture, or your whole life. So, you know, you can see here how love is a much more amazing feeling, yet we go through life usually hating and wanting revenge for things that we believe have happened to us, because we're blaming everybody else, instead of looking at our own self and know and believe that we are going through what we are going through because of what we ourselves have created or done on a previous occasion. Just like in the story about how no man can escape the results of his evil doing. We are reaping, even though we may not know or understand or remember what we've done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And you are going through what you are going through because of what you have done previously. So again, let's have a look at Surah 10, verse 27. And it says, "But those who have earned evil will have a reward of like evil." And again, Surah 30, verse 36. "Evil afflicts them because of what their own hands have sent forth." And again, Surah 36, verse... Oh, sorry, let me just go back a bit. Oh no, I didn't. I thought I'd got a couple of bits mixed up there. So let me just read that again, because there was two 36s there together. So the previous verse I've just read is Surah 30, verse 36. "Evil afflicts them because of what their own hands have sent forth." And Surah 36, verse 65. "Their hands will speak to us, and their feet bear witness to all that they did." Now, this is a very important piece of information that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you. Now, I'm just going to give you a bit of an understanding about this. And it goes back to how everything is recorded. Now, you know, in the Quran, it talks about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala records all our deeds. Well, think about this for a moment. Just pause yourself. Now, you know that we are made up of millions, billions and trillions of little particles all vibrating and they've come together and they've created this physical body because we are particles at the end of the day, and science has proven that, you know, there is nothing solid in this world, and everything, you know, is, when you go into it in one of those really high intensified microscopes, you know, it's like they could see virtually right past us because they've explored molecules and all those kinds of things. No, I'm not a scientist. I don't know even the names of things, but you know, they're subatomic particles. They've gone into even the smallest of things you can think about, and inside those things there is still space. So think about that. Now, if you think about all the thoughts you think, all these thoughts are actually recorded within all your molecules and subatomic particles, if I'm saying that right, subatomic particles. So when we are broken down into all these tiny little bits, we are actually made up of them, and this is where every single cell in your body records what you have done. There is a record within every single cell, and this is why this verse is explaining to you that evil afflicts them because of what oh no, it's not. I've just let me just find that verse again. All right, yeah, so it's Surah 36 verse 65. Their hands will speak to us and their feet will bear witness to all that they did. So again, it's saying everything you think, everything is recorded in the smallest molecule of your body, and it will reveal to you, you know, everything that you have done. So you just think about that for a moment and let that sink in. Now, let's have another look at another verse from the Quran. It's Surah 40, verse 40. He that works evil. And again, it's just pointing you in the direction that you will reap what you have sown. And also Surah 42, verse 48. On account of the deeds which his hands have sent forth. And Surah 45, verse 22. Each soul may find the recompense of what it has earned. And again, it's just explaining to you that you reap exactly what you have sown. And the reason why I'm talking about this is to make you think, to give you an idea that maybe you should be paying a little bit more attention to some of the things you are doing, but also some of the things that you are thinking about. You can't just go through life acting and react, you know, action and reaction, action and reaction. You have to pay attention to what is actually going on within yourself, and especially the thoughts you think, because you will have to reap the benefits or the deeds according to what you express. So we are coming up for another advert, and after the advert we'll be back, and then we'll kind of start looking at something else. But you know, pay attention to some of the thoughts you think. You are reaping what you have sown, and we'll talk about that a little bit more and then move on after this short break.
You are listening to Radio Max Rabia Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
अगर आप सोशल हाउसिंग में रहते हैं और कोई मसला हो तो शिकायत करने का तरीका जानें। मरहला 1, अपने लैंडलॉर्ड को बताएं। अगर ये फिर भी हल ना हो, मरहला 2, अपने लैंडलॉर्ड को शिकायत करें। और अगर आप उनके जवाब से खुश ना हो तो मरहला 3 हाउसिंग ओम्बड्समैन को शिकायत भेजें वो इसकी मुनसिफाना तफ्तीश करेगा एक महफूज घर का होना सबका हक है अपने हुकूक जाने मुलाहाजा करें gov.uk/social housing
Pearl's Tea Room and Patisserie, a unique dining experience for halal gourmet burgers, freshly squeezed juices, mouth-watering cakes and delicious macaroons. Indulge yourself in an experience to overwhelm the senses. Pearl's Tea Room and Patisserie, opening times 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. on weekends. Find us at 46 Rowley Avenue, Bradford, BD6 1DA, behind the Shell petrol station. Call 01274 306 567. Travel Express minibus and coach hire provides a wide range of services including schools, weddings, airport transfers, Hajj and Umrah, theme parks and seaside resorts. We have a mixed fleet of vehicles ranging from 16-seat minibuses right through to 80-seater double-deck buses to cater for all your occasions. The biggest operator in Bradford. For a quotation, visit travelexpress.co.uk. Travel Express, the coach depot, Audley Road, Shipley, BD17 7HP 01274 598 833.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम मुसलमान भाइयों बहनों जामिया उस्मानिया हीटर रोड ब्रैडफोर्ड 9 नई मस्जिद बना रहे हैं जिस पर 3 मिलियन पाउंड खर्चा आएगा इस सदका जारिया में हिस्सा लेकर जन्नत में अपना घर बनाएं क्योंकि अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का फरमान है जिसने दुनिया में अल्लाह का घर बनाया अल्लाह उसको जन्नत में घर अता फरमाएगा राब्ता के लिए मुफ्ती मोहम्मद बशीर मतायर फोन नंबर 07866311213 और साहबजादा मोहम्मद यास साहब 07367576631
Mover Properties are a team of qualified professionals with a decade of experience in the property industry. Are you looking for tenants? Is your property empty? Do you want peace of mind? Mover Properties has the solution. Full management, regular inspection, property maintenance, tenants waiting in all areas, letting sales and commercials. Mover Properties, Tentercourt Lane, BD9 482 999. Other branch 282 Ollerton Road, BD15. Email info@moverproperties.co.uk and our website moverproperties.co.uk.
क्या कर ले अंकल जी उतरा पुलो से बकु करी चोरिया तैरानी वजह नाल तुसा की आख्या सी ना टायर बदलाओ और तू की पता टायर कह दे महंगे वे कोई चंगी जी ता सस्ती जी जा दस ना
Champion Tyres Limited 13 to 22 inch part 1 tyres for cars, vans and 4x4s. If you buy 4 tyres you get a free laser tracking check. Champion Tyres Limited 26 Gale Lane, Bradford. Call 01274 641 845. Special offer for taxi drivers tracking from £10.
New insights into the mysteries of the Quran, a book by Asif Saba, self-help guide to meditation and the Quran, health, wealth, happiness and well-being. Order your copy on Amazon now or visit asifsabamindfulness.com. The Rock Crystals is an adventure into the afterlife, also available on Amazon.
रज़िया केरी फिक्रिच पईए
पहलू ना बयानी शॉपिंग वास्ते इधर-उधर फिरना पैसी
ओ जाए फिरनी नी क्या जरूरत है सीधे चाचा प्लाजा चो जिथे हर चीज लबनी ज्वेलरी ते कपड़े तक प्लाजा एक ते बेशुमार दुकाना इस जाइना ना चाचा प्लाजा
Spend £50 or more at Chacha Plaza to have a chance at winning a gold ring every Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Chacha Plaza, 2 Ingleby Road, Bradford, BD7 2AT 01274 571100.
Neither on the attorney, neither on the attorney.
ओ बाबा जिस बेड पर तो सा सैलियो नींदर अचली नहीं बल्कि उड़ली जानी
अब दस ना फिर मैं क्या करा
चंगी नींदर ते चंगी बेड पर असली ते चंगिया बेड लबनिया चेस्टर एंड ओखली बेड्स तो
All beds direct from factory, no middleman. We specialize in assortment of mattresses and divans. Special landlord and trade discount open to the public. Save money. Chester and Oakley Beds, 25 Mount Street, Bradford, BD4 8TA 01924 473 323. Spend over £300 and get a £50 discount if you mention RADIOMAC.
Would you like to advertise digitally at a cost that is flexible, targetable, affordable and accessible? Then look no further. Adverts for You has designed most comprehensive range of digital advertising vans to meet the needs of businesses and agencies nationwide. Mobile digital vans with the best of technology to get your message delivered to targeted audience of your choice. Adverts from as little as £99, interacting and measuring in real time the client's message. Visit adverts4u.co.uk or call 0781 785 4715 to book your campaign today.
Al-Markaz Al-Islami present their part-time Islamic law and traditional studies under the guidance of Sheikh Mufti Qazi Hassan Raza. Enrollment day Saturday 26th of August 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Course begins Saturday 2nd of September 2023. On Saturday and Sunday 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Brothers and sisters aged 12 and over. Register now, text your name and number on 07378 414 276 or visit Al-Markaz Al-Islami, Beckside Lane, Bradford, BD7 2JX 01274 270 043.
ओ बाबा क्या गाली किया रोनी हो ओ यार मिकी लकना बू दर्दा लकना दर्द है तो उसकी पता नहीं अलादीन कारपेट वाले पिछले 3 साल तू लकने दर्द ने बेडा बेचने तू लनवा नहीं छोड़या उन को लकने दर्द ने बेडा डी बेस स्लाइडर सिंगल पे डबल बेड होनी उन की कीमतें भी बढ़िया जबरदस्त हैं मुफ्त में डिलीवरी करने इसके अलावा उन
let the break finish and then after that just put your track on.
31 Lumley BD8 7QU 01274 741 446. You are listening to RADIOMAC Rabia Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back. My name is Asif Saba, and you're listening to Radio Mac on 107.1 FM. We're going to go into a little break right now. Just have a listen to a couple of nasheeds, and then I'll be back, and we'll continue our talk about how we reap what we sow, or the things that your hands have sent forth, as how the Quran explains it. So, we'll listen to a few different kinds of nasheeds, and then once we come back, we'll continue our talk about different things, because I want to talk about how to find a balance in this chaotic world and how we can create harmony with our busy lives. So, have a listen to a few nasheeds and then we'll return.
He was sitting there, wondering why the world took hold. Oh, his time alone, he would pray for answers. Oh, then he heard a voice telling him to read Rasul. He was scared and shaken by a light he saw. Angel Gabriel was sent from right above. Jibreel alayhi salam, the words he said, you're the chosen one, chosen by Rabbil Alamin, the prophet for all humanity, to spread the word. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you're Allah's chosen one. He left the cave, running home to tell Khadija, radiyallahu anha. She spoke the wisest words, Allah will never let you down. Allahu Akbar. She went to Mordecai, her cousin who was a wise man. He said the signs are clear, they're from the Almighty. He said the words are holy and from Ilahi's angel Jibreel alayhi salam. The words he said, you're the chosen one, chosen by Rabbil Alamin, the prophet for all humanity, to spread the word. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you're Allah's chosen one. The chosen one to spread the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The chosen one, though the road is long, just know Allah won't let you lose your way. You are the mercy for mankind. You You are the teacher for this life. Allah has blessed you with the Quran. Rasul Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You're Allah's chosen one. He was sitting there, wondering why the world took hold. Oh, his time alone, he would pray for answers. Oh, then he heard a voice telling him to read Rasul. He was scared and shaken by the light he saw. Angel Gabriel was sent from right above. Jibreel alayhi salam, the word says you're the chosen one, chosen by Rabbil Alamin, the prophet for all humanity, to spread the word. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you're Allah's chosen one. He left the cave, running home to tell Khadija radiyallahu anha. She spoke the wisest words, Allah will never let you down. Allahu Akbar. She went to Mordecai, her cousin who was a wise man. He said the signs are clear, they're from the Almighty. He sent the word to holy and from Ilahi's angel Jibreel alayhi salam. The word says you're the chosen one, chosen by Rabbil Alamin, the prophet for all humanity, to spread the word. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you're Allah's chosen one. The chosen one to spread the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The chosen one, though the road is long, just know Allah won't let you lose your way. You are the mercy for mankind. You are the teacher for this life. Allah has blessed you with the Quran. Rasul Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you're Allah's chosen one. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak. Waking up in the morning, got the special Friday feeling. Getting ready in my best clothes now. My juba looking crisp, going all out. Jumping my ride to the masjid. Hearing the khutbah, it's a blessing. Now we're standing in the sun and we're praying. Then I greet our kids with Assalamu alaikum. Friday is here and it is the best of days. When we go to the masjid and we all pray. There are blessings on this special day. Thank you, Allah. Thank you for this day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak. Friday sunnahs on lockdown, looking fresh with my miswas. Reading Surah Al-Kahf on a Friday, and saying salawat on the Prophet, peace be upon him. Friday is here and it is the best of Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Mubarak Jumma Mubarak. Where's the Palestinian flag? Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. I remember all the nights I used to pray. Talking to my Lord, I used to say, please give me a wife who'll change my life. Now I found my best friend, my all. She makes me a better man and completes my faith. Now we wake for Fajr and we pray together. Inshallah, it's forever. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. I remember when love was far away. Oh yeah. And now she's come, love has come to stay. She's my favorite color, she's my favorite picture. She's my everything, she's my all. This is all thanks to you, you're the only one. He answered my prayer, the patience was a pressure. At the end I got through. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. I remember all the nights I used to pray. Talking to my Lord, I used to say, please give me a wife who'll change my life. Now I found my best friend, my all. She makes me a better man and completes my faith. Now we wake for Fajr and we pray together. Inshallah, it's forever. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. I remember when love was far away. Oh yeah. And now she's come, love has come to stay. She's my favorite color, she's my favorite picture. She's my everything, she's my all. This is all thanks to you, you're the only one. He answered my prayer, the patience was a pressure. At the end I got through. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. It's been a long time without you, my friend. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. We've come a long way, my love, from where we began. And now that I have found you, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. محمد سيد الكونين وثقلين.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back. My name is Asif Saba, and I'm here at RADIOMAC, broadcasting on 107.1 FM. And today, we've been talking about what your hands have sent forth. In other words, another word for this is karma, or the things that you do in your life. Well, you reap what you have sown, basically. And nothing happens in our lives without a reason. And all things happen because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills those things to happen. It's all a part of His divine plan. And so, one more verse from the Quran is Surah 65, verse 1. And within that verse it says, wrongs his own soul. So again, when you wrong your own soul, when you go around thinking negative thoughts, well, this has an effect not upon, on you as well as the people around you. You must reap what you have sown. Even in the very thoughts you think, those thoughts create an energy, because you are a spiritual being and you have come into this world to experience what it's like to be a human being. And so this part of you, this spiritual part of you that goes on to the hereafter, that is energy. That's one way of looking at it. You are a spiritual being. When you think, your inner self, your soul, it expresses energy, and that energy goes out into the world, and it does affect the things around it. And this is why the Quran is always talking about how we should learn to express love, be the best we can be. And a lot of the teachings within the Quran it's about being the best kind of character, or building your character in a way that expands you in love, teaches you to speak in truth, and put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, you need to focus yourself. Don't keep blaming everybody else for the things that happen to you. Everything happens because somewhere along the lines you are reaping what you have sown. And this is one thing you need to be aware of. You need to understand that this reaping that you are going through is not just a reaping according to the outer things, but also the thought expressions that you create and express within yourself. So as we come up for this last half an hour of this program, we are going to just kind of look at some ideas about how we can find balance in all this chaos that's going on around us, and how we can work maybe to create harmony in a busy life. And we will go into details about these points once we come back from this break, because we'll have a break that should be coming up any time now. And then that will take us up to 10 o'clock when our program will come to an end. And, I'll be back next week. If you wish to learn more, you can always go to Amazon and download my book. I explain all sorts of different spiritual things regarding the Quran and take you on a beautiful inner journey. And the book is called Self-Help Guide to Meditation and the Quran.
You are listening to Radio Max Rabia Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403. Accident Law Group. Had an accident? Call our dedicated claim line on 01274 481111. That's 481111. Recovery and storage, instant vehicle replacement, taxi replacement, self-hire, approved NBRA body shop, legal advice. Email info@accidentlawgroup.co.uk or visit 44 Duckworth Grove, Bradford, BD9 5HQ.
रज़िया केरी फिक्र च पई है
पैनू ना बयानी शॉपिंग वास्ते इधर-उधर फिरना पैसी
ओ जाए फिरने की क्या जरूरत है सिद्धे चाचा प्लाजा चो जिथे हर चीज लबनी ज्वेलरी ते कपड़े तक प्लाजा एक ते बेशुमार दुकान Dukana is Jainana Chacha Plaza.
Spend £50 or more at Chacha Plaza to have a chance at winning a gold ring every Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Chacha Plaza, 2 Ingleby Road, Bradford. BD7 2AT 01274 571100. Mover Properties are a team of qualified professionals with a decade of experience in the property industry. Are you looking for tenants? Is your property empty? Do you want peace of mind? Mover Properties has the solution. Full management, regular inspection, property maintenance, tenants waiting in all areas, letting sales and commercials. Mover Properties, Tentercourt Lane, BD9 482 999. Other branch 282 Ollerton Road. BD15 email info@moverproperties.co.uk and our website moverproperties.co.uk.
क्या गल है कुछ ना इंतजार होना लगे यार
ओ ये रहा हम बस का इंतजार करती है अभी तक इधर से कोई बस गुजरा ही नहीं है
ओ छोड़ो बस की अच्छो गड्डी च बियो
ओ ये रहा हमारे बैठने से कहीं तुम्हारा गाड़ी का टायर ना पंक्चर हो जाए कहीं हवा ना निकल जाए
अगर ऐसी कोई गल होई गई तो सीधे ले जाओ सर
BM Tires for your puncture repairs, wheel balancing and tracking. New and power-worn tires available. BM Tires, 22 Paradise Street, BD1 2HR 01274 728 288. The best name in tires, BM Tires.
Globally, more than 1,000 children under the age of 5 die daily because of lack of clean, safe water. Is this fair? Help Families Relief provide the poorest villages with clean, safe water and protect them from waterborne disease. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked which charity is the best. He replied, providing water. Join the campaign and help us to save hundreds of lives. If you do one good thing today, call 0114 365 4454 or visit familiesrelief.org.uk and give life with water.
Would you like to advertise digitally at a cost that is flexible, targetable, affordable and accessible? Then look no further. Adverts for You has designed most comprehensive range of digital advertising vans to meet the needs of businesses and agencies nationwide. Mobile digital vans with the best of technology to get your message delivered to targeted audience of your choice. Adverts from as little as £99, interacting and measuring in real time the client's message. Visit adverts4you.co.uk or call 0781 785 4715 to book your campaign today.
Al-Markaz Al-Islami presents Islamic law and traditional studies for sisters. New course for busy mothers, working sisters and all sisters who would like to learn the foundation of our deen. Monday to Wednesday, 9:30 am till 2 p.m. Enrolling now. Course begins 4th September 2023. Sisters aged 16 and over. Modules include translation of the glorious Quran, Hadith science, tafsir, Islamic jurisprudence and much more. Come and visit Al-Markaz Al-Islami, Beckside Lane, Bradford. BD7 2JX 01274 270 043.
ओ मरी क्या हुए
क्या गल है चाचा कुदरे साइकिल पर नहीं टठे हो
साइकिल पर कोई ना टठा लक्का ने दर्द नाल ते जोड़ा ने दर्द नाल मरी क्या हुए
ते फिर सलंजी ड्रिंक पियो ना
सलंजी ड्रिंक क्या होड़ा
चाचा इस ड्रिंक विच खालस शलाजीत अखरोट पिस्ते बादाम काजू ते और भी बहुत सारी चंगीਆਂ चीज़ां पईयां ने ए ड्रिंक पीने नाल लक्के ने दर्द कोलेस्ट्रोल ब्लड प्रेशर जोड़ा ने दर्द सारा कुछ ठीक हो जासी ते तुसा घोड़े हाल दौड़सो
Salanji, our own natural milk energy drink available at all Chacha Chai stores. Visit salanji.com.
New insights into the mysteries of the Quran, a book by Asif Saba, self-help guide to meditation and the Quran, health, wealth, happiness and well-being. Order your copy on Amazon now or visit asifsabamindfulness.com. The Rock Crystals is an adventure into the afterlife, also available on Amazon.
मामा आज क्या खासो
वो पामाजान उसना पामाजान
ओ मामा ये रोज पामाजान खाई खाई तंग नहीं पैणी हो
वो चला ही गया 100 बारी खाओ ते तावे नहीं तंग पैना
तो फिर करा ऑर्डर
वो टली खड़का देर कैसी है
12 Manville Terrace, Bradford. Call 01274 726 218. Opposite Bradford College and University. Open on weekdays 11 a.m. till midnight and weekends from 3 p.m. till midnight. Delivery available from 5 p.m. Delicious Parmesan House, Manville Terrace is the only exclusive Delicious Parmesan House in Bradford. You are listening to RADIOMAC Rabi Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back. My name is Asif Saba, broadcasting on 107.1 FM. And we've been talking today about how we reap what we sow. And we've looked at a couple of stories from an amazing book called, let me just get the book out and have a look. It's 100 Islamic Stories. And both the stories are based on reaping what we sow in life. And the chapter or the story is Story 60, Man Cannot Escape the Results of His Evil Doings. And Story 61, which goes on to talk about you will reap what you sow. And then we've looked at some verses from the Quran that talk about how we reap what we sow according to what we send out from ourselves as physical and spiritual beings. And so this last part of the program, we're kind of going to look at finding a balance in chaos or creating harmony in a busy world. Because, you know, finding harmony within everything that's going on around us is important for our own peace of mind. And in today's fast-paced world, finding a balance amidst this chaos can feel like an exclusive quest. Juggling multiple responsibilities, meeting deadlines, and keeping up with the demands of the modern life can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from our inner selves. However, it is possible to create harmony even amidst all this chaos. Now, if you think about how we each reap what we sow, you know, no matter what happens, you know, it's all about Allah knowing best. And the things that do happen to us, even the horrible things that we believe are taking place, well, let me just point out something. I haven't really talked about this topic, and maybe, if I remember, we'll look at this next week. And it's about how we are alive before we come to this world. And when we come to this world, we have a plan. We don't just come and it's a free-for-all. No, there is a divine plan. And we actually know the things that are going to happen to us before we even come to this world. So hopefully, in fact, I'm going to write this down because I want to talk about this because it kind of fits in with what we've been talking about today. And some of the atrocities that happen in life, believe it or not, if you look at the verses of the Quran, they actually tell you that we were alive before we came to this world. And we actually choose our own experiences according to our own inner self's needs. So I am going to actually write this down and make a note, because I want to talk about this just to round off this topic about how things happen in our lives. And if you want a bit of a head start, why don't you read the story about Adam and Eve? Now, many people, I'm not going to go into a great deal about this, but maybe we'll cover it next week, if I remember. But look at the story of Adam and Eve, and in the verses of the Quran, you will see that it actually says, "Get ye down, all ye people. On earth will be your dwelling place." So this story of Adam and Eve isn't about two people, and we all came from two people, as the common run of the ideas about Adam and Eve go. There weren't just two people that existed, but there were a lot more, and it's an event that didn't take place in this world. Not if you read the Quran. So I'll give you a bit of a heads up. That verse in the Quran, I don't have the detail. Well, I'll have them somewhere, but I can't find them at hand because I want to talk about something else at the moment. But a bit of a heads up. The Quran, it says in the translation of Yusuf Ali, the verse kind of goes on to say, "Get ye down, all ye people. On to English. So it shows that we existed before we came to this world. So let me just make a note. Life before. I'm sorry about this, but I just want to make sure I remember. And then tune in next week and we'll have a look at this in a bit more detail. Coming to this world. Right, okay. Right. And so let's just leave that alone for now. We'll talk about this next week. But you know, in this modern world, you know, we are juggling so many different things around, and we have become disconnected from our inner self. This is why I keep telling you to meditate, go within yourself, reconnect yourself to your true center, and then through your true center, connect yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and receive the inspiration you need, or listen to the thoughts you have in your mind that come from your angels, and be better guided. And so creating harmony amidst all this chaos, you know, you must learn to understand and how you can consciously seek a balance by incorporating mindfulness practices in your daily life, where you can learn to disconnect yourself from the activities of this physical world and start looking within yourself for answers to your questions, because it's from within yourself that you will find all that you need. And we talked about this earlier on a previous program about you come to this world with everything that you need, and it's all contained within yourself. So you've got to stop kind of looking outwardly for all your answers to inner questions. So amidst all this chaos, it's crucial to prioritize your self-care. You need to take time to carve out time for activities that nourish your mind, body and soul. And by engaging in activities that bring you joy, such practices that you enjoy doing, like hobbies, they bring you joy, and then you can, through that joy, feel better about yourself, and then you'll remember to pray. You'll remember to give thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything that He has given you. So taking care of yourself allows you to replenish your energy and approach your tasks with a renewed focus and clarity. Amidst the stress of daily life, prioritizing self-care is essential because it enables you to refuel and restore your energy. You offer yourself a chance to decompress or unwind and find joy in your life by making time for things that nourish your body, mind and soul, including meditation. So, you know, that's an important aspect of any kind of spiritual journey. Self-care practices boost your mental and emotional health, eases stress, and assist you in maintaining some kind of equilibrium and harmony. When you start to care for yourself, you can better face the difficulties and demands of a busy life. Your ability to approach your duties will increase clarity, focus, and effectiveness, depending on how well you can recharge yourself and concentrate your energy through self-care activities. So self-care is an important thing. You know, self-care is ultimately an investment in your general well-being. So again, you need to look after yourself and start to establish some kind of routine which does allow you to kind of spend time in silence and look within yourself. Now, one way to set boundaries is to learn to use boundaries to set out a time in your life when you can look after yourself and say, okay, no, I'm going to take time out for myself so that I can replenish myself instead of always giving out to everybody else. Because if you're ill, if you know, stress and the strains of life can bring your soul's energy down and you can become overloaded. So this is why it's important to take time off, set these boundaries and say no and mean no, and it's okay to say no. You know, there's nothing wrong with saying no when you need time for yourself. So establishing healthy boundaries is vital to creating balance. Learn to say no when necessary and delegate tasks when possible. Setting clear boundaries helps prevent burnout and allows you to allocate time and energy to what truly matters. And what is it that truly matters in your life? Finding time to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Finding time to go within yourself and ask those questions that you need answers to open you up and let you move on. Because there's no point in just burying these ideas without looking at them. Sometimes we just have to look at the ideas that are causing us the stress, and then we'll know how to do something about these unhealthy thoughts that keep arriving in our life. If we keep burying them under layers and layers of suppression, eventually those thoughts are going to burst forth and cause so many more deeper leveled problems in our lives. Healthy limits must be established to maintain balance, since they help to strengthen your time, energy and well-being. Knowing when to say no calls for acceptance of your limitations and avoid you taking on too much. And by establishing clear boundaries, you can prioritize your tasks and devote time and energy to what matters the most to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, this journey you are on, it's your journey. So you've also got to take time out for yourself. Now, you can avoid burnout and keep a good work-life balance by setting these boundaries. When feasible, delegating duties lets you split the workload and frees time up for critical responsibilities like self-care. So again, if you've got a family, start to delegate some of the work not only to one side of the family, but to all your children. Let your children help you out, both male and female, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with the males taking care of business and helping you out. I mean, you know, it's a matter of sharing your load. And if you've heard of the saying, many hands make light work. So don't take on too much and leave time for your own self-care. And by setting limits, you give your life structure and control and allow you to concentrate on your objectives that present you overextending yourself. And it gives you the confidence to prioritize your needs. And then as you begin to prioritize your needs, you gain a certain kind of respect for yourself. So think about this. Learn to prioritize, learn to set balances, and find harmony within this crazy world that we live in, with all the demands of your children and other people in your life. There's nothing wrong with setting these boundaries. And remember, the most important thing, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's your prayers, your du'as, and all the other things that you do. You know, if you keep suppressing the thoughts that arise, eventually those thoughts will build up, build up, and then before you know it, you've got all this negative emotion that you've put into, you've suppressed it. Other thoughts have been piled on top of it. And then eventually, those thoughts, where do they go? Well, they must find, let me just backtrack a little bit. We spoke earlier about how thoughts are energy, and energy creates if you have a negative thought, it creates a dark spot in your soul. Now, if you keep thinking negative over and over again, that dark spot gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes a big ball of energy within your energy field. Now, that ball of energy needs to go somewhere. So what does it do? It looks for the weakest link. And because it can't go out, what does it do? It comes back within you, and it causes disruption to your physical body. And what is stress? Well, if you think about stress-related illnesses, this is all because of the thought energy that you have built up within yourself, and you've suppressed it, and it's built up to the point where it's got to be released. And because you're refusing to look at it using your mind, it looks for other avenues through which it can express itself. So it turns itself back on you and your physical body. And this causes you illnesses within your body, because we are amazing our bodies are amazing physical things. They have the ability to heal themselves if we let them. And it all starts with your thoughts. So don't take on too much responsibility. Learn to relax, learn to look within yourself, learn to look at the thoughts instead of suppressing them, and learn to use your mind in a way that allows you to deal with the things that you're the things that you have suppressed, or the problems that you're having. Learn to go within, follow the best of guidance that comes from your angels, and remember, they are nearer to you than your jugular vein. And when you learn to release and deal with the things that are arising in your life, well, you become much more, you achieve a different state of harmony. So think about this. So by incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine, it takes moments to just pause, breathe deeply, and bring your attention to the present moment. Mindfulness helps you to cultivate awareness, reduce stress, and foster a sense of inner calm amidst all this chaos. Now, another thing you can do is simplify your life by decluttering your physical and mental space. Get organized, eliminate unnecessary distractions, and streamline your responsibilities. Simplifying your environment and mindset can bring clarity and create a more harmonious atmosphere. Now, amidst this busy life, it's crucial to prioritize meaningful connections. Now, you should invest time in nurturing relationships with loved ones. Schedule quality time together, communicate openly, and foster a support network. And learn to work together. And again, this is going back to Islam. Islam teaches you to build good community relations through love, trust, and truth, not through hate, anger, and backbiting. Strong relationships provide a sense of belonging and emotional stability. So finding a balance in chaos is not an overnight achievement, but a continuous journey. And you've got your whole life to do it. You can create harmony in your busy life by prioritizing self-care and setting up boundaries, practicing mindfulness and meditation, and simplifying and nurturing the relationships you have with the people in your life. And remember, small steps. Take those small steps. You can't eat an elephant, but you can eat a lot of little elephant bits. So don't take on too much and try to deal with it all. Prioritize things, share things out with others, and learn to look within yourself. And because it all starts within. And this is where everything, we're all busy looking outwardly for answers to our inner questions, but why not look for the real place those questions need to be looked for? And it is within yourself. You've got to ask yourself, are you seeking balance amidst this chaos in your life? Well, you can find it, but it all starts within yourself. And the only place to find the truth and your true center, which the Quran again talks about, is by looking within. And we spoke about how we each reap what we have sown, or karma, as some people call it. It's all over the Quran. It's in there. It explains it all to you. And we need to stop blaming other people for the things that happen to ourselves. Because the history... Now, I just spoke about Adam and Eve and how the verse in the Quran says, "Get ye down, all ye people. On earth will be your dwelling place." Now, that should tell you a lot about the fact that we existed before we came to this world. So if you think about that, maybe some of the things you are reaping are from that previous past life. And when you came into this world, the memory of your past life in the spiritual world was removed from your consciousness. Why? Because you had to learn to fully reap what you had sown. So, our lives go far beyond this singular life we think we live. And, if I've written it down, we will look at Adam and Eve next week. Hopefully I'll remember. And we'll look at that story and maybe start looking at a few other things as well. So, if you want a bit of a head start, you can read my book, Self-Help Guide to Meditation and the Quran. It's available on Amazon. There is a chapter in there that talks about meditation. It talks about Adam and Eve, actually. In fact, there's 19 chapters talking about all sorts of things that I haven't quite yet covered in these Wednesday conversations, but I am due to. Hopefully, inshallah, we will discuss some of those things eventually. But I'd like to... we're coming up for an advert, and I'll be back just after.
You are listening to RADIOMAC's Rabi'a Thani Ghosia broadcast on 107.1 FM. You can also listen to us on www.radiomac.org. And if you would like to advertise, ring 0793 66 77403.
Stopped. Slowly.
New insights into the